Right, you're welcome back. Still in this edition of your Top Flight television program, Morning Ride. And right now on our guest segment, we are going to be looking at the issue of flooding, taking Delta State as a case study. And speaking to that conversation this morning is the Chief Executive Officer, Delta State Orientation and Communication Bureau, in the person of Dr. Fred Ogenesiwe Latimo. Good morning, sir.
Good
to
morning.
have you.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Yeah, good morning to Delta.
Okay, so, wow, I love your blue.
Thank you.
I was just about to
popped
say
you
that.
out, you know?
Popping.
It's popping.
Welcome.
All right, sir. So we're taking Delta State as a case study, looking at flooding, especially right here in Delta State. And we know even the Okwe axis, I think they will be counted as one of the persons that suffer this flooding more. And it's also painful because that axis, they have the farmers, they have large acres of land that they use to farm, and when this flooding starts, it's something else. Everything just goes down the drain. Now, what is the government doing about it, or what modalities is the state government doing about it as regards the warning NIMET gave concerning the flooding that will be experienced this year?
Thank you very much. Flooding is been a very big issue, not only in Delta, excuse me, excuse me,
Yeah,
but across the country. And Lagos State and some other states across the country,
Yes.
you've heard about devastations of flooding. And a lot of homes have been ruined and farms affected.
Yes.
And the cause of flooding really majorly is about building houses in floodplains, places that are prone to flooding.
Yeah.
You know, and if you want to buy a land or you want to make an investment in an area, the first you should look at is to look out whether that place has
The topography
it's
of
a
the
topography,
land.
yes, the topography of the land. And if it's that area which is likely to be flood prone, now two things come to play. Is it that you have enough money to do the needful? That is to say, excavating, elevating the,
Yes.
you know, where you want to build.
The foundation.
Yes, make concrete and then raise it above that level of floodplain, and then you not build. Then when rain falls, you don't have a problem. But if you don't have that kind of finance, and you just go say, okay, the land is cheap. Okay, maybe a land is selling elsewhere for 2 million, and they are selling this for you at 50,000 or 150, and you know that place is flood prone, and you just happily bought, particularly the dry season, and then you start building. It's wrong, because the first thing you do, you ask your neighbors, people living around those areas, when rainy season, what's the situation here? In fact, you even see gullies. You even see gullies around. You know, if you are observant, you go to a flood-prone area, even if it is dry season, you will see the gully areas where erosions normally pass.
Yes, it's always obvious.
It's always obvious.
Yes.
But I think the best time to buy land is during rainy season.
Yes.
You can see further.
You can see further, but even this dry season, if you look around, you will see
You
the
know
signs.
it, yes.
The signs are there.
Yes.
But people don't just bother. They don't bother. And then when the problem comes, you say, government, come and help me. But you knew it wasn't a good thing to do. And I've always advised people, even if you when you build your own personal compound, like my own compound where I live, for example. Now, where the compound flooring is slopey.
Slopey, okay.
Okay, I slope it down to the
gates.
to the gates, to the gutters. Then you have
The
drainage where water can just sink in and then go straight into the.
Yes.
And that's the best thing to do. So when rain falls, nothing stops, no rain remains in the compound.
Okay, imagine
It will just run through.
Because there's a channel.
There's a channel already. But if you build your house and you leave it the way it is, you know, and is when rain fall, it will now, you know, the waters will remain, and then your children start swimming. You start
just like these
through.
ones on the screen.
Uh-huh.
How they are swimming.
Thank
in the
you.
water. This is a street.
This
but
is
now
street.
it looks like a river.
It's a river already. You know, so it's really painful, and government
You even have to use a canoe.
yes, so government is really pained
Oh, okay, sir.
about at this development, and what we can really do at this moment is what we have been doing. We've been our radio jingles are air, telling our people what to do. Don't wait until when the floods start coming heavily. This time is enough time for you now. Remove your valuables from the house, your television, your bed, your valuables from the house, and then switch off all your electrical appliances. Because when rain falls and your electrical appliances is on and you step on it, you can be electrocuted. You can be electrocuted. Yes. So turn off your electrical appliances, remove your valuable from the house, take them to a neighbor. This is the time we should be our brother's keeper. Church members, neighbors, brothers, sisters, cousins, nephews, all of us will come together. Take some property from that fellow, another person takes, let those properties be there, because even right now, the economic situation we have in this country, you can't buy a new fridge any longer.
No way.
Except you are financially endowed. So things are expensive. So you don't wait and let this erosion or flooding come to destroy your properties. Okay. So move to the hinterland now. Move to the areas that are safe. Places. Yes, immediately after the rain, then you can think of.
Okay. I know that last year the Delta State government did a lot in terms of coming in very early to try to help persons who will be affected by the flooding, and so many persons were housed. Now you have said, now that the flooding hasn't come so much, you should start putting your things away, asking your neighbor to help. But then there are still families who don't have where to go, who don't even have loved ones in the community. Is there something that the state government is doing for those persons? For example, if I tell you, please, can I keep my things in your house? Will I also be expecting you to house me? There are not every person will be that benevolent to house another person and his family members. So is there something that the state government is putting in place to help house people?
Yes, if in the previous experiences, the government will usually build tents, to accommodate people. You have heard about this Okwama thing too. Yes. The Okwama issue that took place.
Yes.
And then, government was able to build tents and then support them with food items and other materials.
Should we expect that again?
We expect that, definitely. I think the office of the SSG is already working on that.
Okay.
Normally there used to be a committee every year, to oversee, these issues of flood victims, and then they are taken care of. But you see, what I said earlier is a precautionary measure, okay, not a solution to the problem. The solution to the problem is that we make tents, and then the solution to the problem also is that those who are living in those areas, if there's any means by which you can relocate permanently from those areas, we can also encourage that, because some of the riverine areas, for example, this flooding also happens when the rivers overflow their banks, and then they now pour into the community. Yes. So if your house is too close to the river, for example,
it's bound to happen.
It's bound to happen.
Yes.
So why don't you find somewhere up there? Because if you look at these river areas, most of the houses are not solid structures, and they are not like story buildings and all that. They are makeshift tents and homes that can easily be relocated to somewhere else.
True.
So we encourage our people to also do that.
Okay, now you know how stubborn people can actually be, especially when it comes to them owning a house. Now they will think about, oh, I spent money in building this house and you want me to leave this house. Let's look at demolition. Don't you think it is a right approach for the state government to demolish those houses there? Because I don't think it's a form of punishment, but it's a form of help, to help those people, because they would not be able to see the future, to know exactly the dangers that they're surrounded with. But if the government does that demolition, probably compensates them or gets them another land.
I like the compensation part.
Get them another land where they can actually build. Don't you think it can help?
You see, two wrongs cannot make a right.
Okay.
Yes.
You see, you cannot knowingly build a house along the floodplains or very close to the river bank, and you don't expect something to happen when rain falls.
That's mentality.
That mentality, something must tell you that, look, if rain falls heavily and if there's flooding, I'm going to be affected. So why build a house there? And when you build a house there, you didn't consult government. Say, government, should I build here?
Okay.
And government says, okay,
Yes.
go ahead and build.
Yes.
Now that you now have problem, the man who says you should build, you go back to the people and say, see, you are asked me to build, though. I'm not having issues, come and help me.
Okay.
When you were building there, you didn't tell government.
Okay.
You did it on your own. And you know that what you are doing is not right.
Wrong.
Then when the repercussion comes, you say government should come to your aid.
Okay.
We agree. Government is for everybody. That is why the government is elected. It's a governor for all the times. But you see, government cannot do everything.
Everything, yeah.
How many houses are we going to build for those who are affected by floods? Then we are talking about maybe 40,000 housing units for flood victims.
Which might not even be enough.
Which might not even be enough. And where is the money? Where is the resources? Okay? So what we are trying to do is, please, we are appealing. Because I remember yesterday when we were on this cholera program. I know you are going to have the health people today.
Yes.
One of them said, look, to control cholera, it's not about money.
Okay.
It's about our attitude,
Yes.
our behavior. All right?
That's
Now, you treat your water, you boil your water before you drink it. That is not money. Okay? Now, you defecate the water, you urinate the water, you also take that same water and drink it. That is not money. But if you avoid those things, you won't have cholera. And it does not cost anything. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So most of these problems that we go through is we just knowingly cause these problems. And they are not right. So it's time for us, for example, to start putting on our thinking cap to say, look, before you do anything, even the Bible says that. Say, before a man will start building, before you start any project, you first of all sit down and calculate the costs. Look at the pros and cons before you start. Otherwise, you won't be able to finish it, or you will run into problems.
Okay, I'm happy you talked about hazards. Now, there are hazards that come with this. And also, you've talked about sensitization. Do you think that enough sensitization have been done? Because there are persons, particularly when I was in Benin, I know of a particular family that when it rains, the flooding is crazy. But they will never move. They will just keep mopping and cleaning, mopping and cleaning. They had tables where they had everything elevated, but they kept staying there. So my question is, are there hazards to these things when you decide to be stubborn? Are there the health risks? And then when you talk about sensitization, don't you think that as the government moves around to sensitize, there should also be the place of the doctors telling them that this is hazard, this is a health hazard? Because I feel like Nigerians, many Nigerians, until you tell them that this thing will kill you before they will move.
Even some, when you tell it will kill you, you say, I want to die.
No, they will tell you.
So we tell you I want to die. Then
Something must kill a man.
Something must kill a man now. Why are you talking about that now? Let you come and kill me. Really? We are not joking here. You know, it's a serious matter. You see flood coming and you decide to stay. Why? Some people have children.
Yes.
What do you think for your own children? They will carry the children, hang them somewhere. They will start mopping, they bring them back.
Yes.
Maybe in the night again, heavy rain calls before they even make arrangement. Oh yeah, pam. And then you see some of them, you know, in a
You would even see some
tied
wrappers to woods, and then the
in a
children
very
are sleeping
difficult
in there.
situation. That is quite wrong.
It's
Okay?
terrible.
You see, penny wise and pound foolish is not the best. Most people, they are wise by penny. And then when the foolishness comes, it consumes a lot of pounds from them. What you need to do now is, the rain is not much yet. We have been saying this, and we want to take it round to the entire local government. We are liaising already with the local government chairman because they are closer to the people. They listen to them the more. We are going through the churches and the mosque. We are going through other groups like the youth groups and the rest of them to talk to their people. They listen to their people more
Because
than government.
they know themselves.
More than government. When
Yes.
government people come and talk, they will say, "What government? I bet no, if you won't help us, we're gonna build house for us." You know, and they know that they don't know that these things are not just easy like that.
Yes.
So you know, by the time we now continue to talk to the LGA chairman very soon, by the grace of God, election is on the 13th of this month.
Yes.
They'll be sworn in almost immediately, and then we'll start to work with them. Then talk to the churches and the mosque and the religious groups, whether Celestial, the Seraphim and Seraphim, any of the churches around the communities will go and meet the leaders because they normally will come to service.
Yes.
And when they are spiritually that talk to them, they believe more.
Yes.
So that's why we want to now go through the churches, so that they can help us talk to them.
Okay.
So that please move your things. Churches, friends, please help. This is the time to accommodate.
To
be our brother's keeper. Yes, it's
Yes.
very important. It's only for the rainy season. After the rainy season, they can relocate. And those that have the resources, please don't go back to those places if you can afford another place.
Okay.
If you can afford another place, it's better for you, so that you save yourself of this
Moving.
annual ritual of moving from one place to another.
Okay, so we've been talking about flooding and how to prevent it, or how people can prevent being destroyed, or their properties being destroyed by the flood. Now let's take a look at generally now the prevention, as far as Nigeria is concerned. The prevention, are there no ways, or what ways can flooding be prevented in Nigeria? We have dam, at least creating new dams. What ways can it be prevented?
Sure, the issue of dam comes in a different dimension. The one we are discussing here now is just, the peripherals of the flooding, like communities, homes, dams will not take care of those. But let's come to this one now. For example, when people now dump their refuse in drainages, what do you expect? Now, by the time rain comes, the drainages will pump out the water and everywhere. I remember the other time, not too long ago, I think it was last year or so, this Okpanam Road, we don't have flood there any longer because of the groundwater tunnel that has been done by the previous administration. Okay? But in this very particular week, we had serious flooding on that road. What was the cause? Because people were not dumping refuse on those drainages. So the government had to pay contractors. They came, remove those concretes, and then if you see the kind of refuse that were brought out, you'll be amazed. Some people will excrete and throw it inside the drainages. It's wrong.
Okay, sir. Just
so
before
one of the preventive measures is that, like we are now doing in Delta, this environmental sanitation stuff. We also have a task force now. You don't dump your refuse everywhere. You get nylon, get things. When you put your refuse, tie them up. If you have a drum or disposal facility in front of your house, drop them there, cover it. Don't use key to lock it. When the PSP people come, they will empty it and take it away. But for you to just come in the night to look here, look there, there's nobody, then you drop it on the drain, you are causing more problems for us.
Okay, sir, I'm happy you've gotten to the point of the hazard, because that's where I was going to. Now, these persons that you're talking about who are in charge of regulating actually move from compound to compound. We are all privileged to come out very early in the morning and see that persons are sweeping the state capital constantly and meticulously. But when you pass that same road by 12 p.m., it's not the same.
It's not the same.
It's not the same. Now, do you think it's okay to just send these persons from compound to compound, or should there be spies around that when you wind down your car and you throw something outside, there should be a way they should hold you, to, I think if 2 or 3 persons do cleaning of the state capital, maybe it will send as deterrent to the rest persons that I don't want to sweep, because when rain falls, it sweeps everything into the gutters.
What you are trying to say again, you are introducing environmental marshal.
Yes.
Wouldn't it help?
And that would be about maybe 30,000 workers or 50,000 workers.
But is it not better than what
the state?
But is it not better than what the government is doing to clear up?
I think what we should be talking about here is for us to be good citizens. It's for us to be a law abiding.
But this is Nigeria.
Yes, not Nigeria. We can start from somewhere. If we keep saying this is Nigeria, that means our country will never be good again.
Yes.
That's what we are trying to say by saying this is Nigeria. That means it's gone. We are finished. No, we are not.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is that, look, let's change our orientation. Change your mindset. You are driving a car. Eat your biscuit. Drop it on the floor of the car.
Yes.
On the mat. When you stop, you park. You can take the mat and empty properly into
A waste bin.
a waste bin. Or better still, get a waste bin basket inside your car and drop it.
Just
Very
like
simple.
tricycles have.
Just like tricycles
Tricycles
have.
their waste
So
bin.
let's be responsible citizens. Let's not say that this is Nigeria.
And the children are looking at their parents
Yes,
too.
the children are looking at their parents.
Yeah.
So if I don't drop,
Yes, they
my
will.
wife sees me, I don't drop, she will not.
Yes.
When my children say I don't drop it, they will not.
Yes.
Then in the office, I don't eat things I throw around, I drop them in the basket. My staff
My
will be
colleagues are
watching.
observing
Yes,
as
they are
well.
watching. They will
Yes.
not, they say, if a guy go and drop his own, I can't put my own on the floor.
True.
That is the way we must keep,
Should be a lifestyle.
We're changing our lifestyle because all of these problems are by lifestyle,
Yes.
orientation, mindset, and all that.
Okay.
Because if you behave, if you do the right things, some of these problems will not be there.
All right, sir. Can we have the state government?
So, but what we are trying to do now, the State Orientation Bureau, is we are coming out with an sensitization program, both on radio, TV, and all that, to reorientate our people to become good citizens. Okay, do the right thing. Don't do this. Don't do that. Don't throw your dustbin. Don't throw your this. Don't do that. And we just come up with something.
Okay.
So that it will be on radio every day. When they wake up, they hear. They are driving, they will hear it.
Okay.
I'm sure that will also help them.
Because you
Okay.
will
So
say you
your
did not
office-
hear.
Yeah, you will say you did not hear.
Okay.
So by the time anybody sees you throw something, or a law enforcement agent sees you, or sanitation people see you throw something,
Yes.
you go
You're
for
going
it.
for it.
All right, sir. Can the State Orientation Bureau also have this the waste bin along the roads, at least for persons
No, that one
who
is
are
for
driving?
that is under the purview of is the environmental sanitation
Environmental
task force.
Sanitation Task
They are
Force.
responsible for that.
Yes, but I
in
think
fact,
it
they've
should
started
be a
distributing.
beautiful one
They've started
to have it.
distributing these items already.
Okay.
And then they have also made some radio announcement that premises owners, landlords, okay, and caretakers, as the case may be, they come and collect from us. Maybe
Okay,
there's
that's
a
for
fee,
streets,
maybe there's
for
a fee they
compounds.
pay or something, I don't know. But they have been announcing that it should come around
For their compound.
for their
right?
compounds. Yes.
No, so I'm not talking about
For
their
the street, they will
compound.
take them away. You
I'm talking
know,
about the main
these trees
road.
they will take them.
What if they are chained?
Just go and buy one nice refuse bin,
Bin.
that plastic
And come
good
back
one,
in the afternoon.
and then come and put it in front of this your DBS here, and then come back tomorrow morning if you are going to meet it there. You will meet it.
Making
So
the
even
one
if
that
you use
can-
rope to tie it to
No, not
something,
even
they will
rope.
cut the rope.
Okay,
Slice
can
Slice
it
it.
be built to the ground like
That one you are talking about steel now.
yes?
Okay, that's steel.
Can
That's
we
steel.
have- yeah,
So
can we
steel
have
you
something
come,
like
you
that?
put a concrete,
Concrete,
and
yes.
then you hold it such a way that it cannot be
It
pulled.
cannot be pulled.
And
That has
then
to
have
be
you-
plan
have
of
you
that.
also looked at a financial implication? So that brings us back to that
It
that
has to be me
mindset.
and
That,
you.
you see, me and
Yes.
you obeying laws.
Yes.
Me and you obeying laws. Okay, I was coming this morning, all right, and then this traffic, the red light showed,
Okay.
all right. I stopped. Few persons stopped. Some keke and some vehicles. They drove past the red line. You get it? I saw it this morning, and that is wrong.
And when you hold them,
When you hold them, say, Okowa police.
they tell you their family problems.
Okowa police has come again. I was going to the hospital to go and pick my wife. And they start telling all kinds of lies. You have seen the sign that you should stop. You stop.
Yeah.
So if we continue to obey laws, we continue to obey simple regulations, simple instructions, then these things will be there. I mean, why should I want to eat something along the road and I eat gala and I just throw the stuff on the floor? It's not right.
Okay.
Okay, put it inside your bag. Just squeeze that gala, look for a small zipper in your bag, just drop it there. When you get home, you pull it out. It's as simple as that. So I think our own, including DBS and all the media partners that we have, both for the state government and the Orientation Bureau, what we want you people to do for us is, under your own social corporate responsibilities, do your own in-house jingles. Help us, reorientate our people. It's done. We used to do it those days. I don't know why it's not happening now.
Yes.
And remember when we were growing up, we had a lot of jingles on radio done by the radio stations, not by government, not by any agency. So it's a collective responsibility that we must all come together to make sure that we pass these messages across to our people. And when they change their attitude, you will discover that some of the problems we come here to discuss every day, there will be no more.
Okay.
So, sir, how can deforestation help in flood control?
Yes, you see, in this issue of even climate change we're talking about, it's all about this deforestation and bush burning, the fossil fuel, emission, and the rest of them. Okay, so if our people, if you go to some of these bushes now, they cut them. They cut all these,
trees.
the trees, logs, the one they use for firewood, furniture, and the rest of them. So when rain falls, the floods, they have a very free way to go through. Everywhere is clean for them to just run through.
Yeah.
But when you have those things, it also helps to keep these things away. But nevertheless, gradually, this issue of flooding really is not more of only state government affair. It also affects the federal government.
Yes.
And there's what they call ecological fund and the rest of them that they normally will bring, for us to solve these problems. But those kind of funds are not forthcoming these days. Okay. Because of the harsh economic situation that we find ourselves. And but at the state level, the governor is very passionate about this flooding, about any epidemic in the state, and he has given us a go-ahead to keep sensitizing our people on this issue. Why a committee headed by SSG, Dr. Kingsley Emo, will work out modalities on how we can assist these flood victims. When we start getting those reports from different local governments.
Okay, so why we work towards more sensitization on the people? Let's quickly talk about the open slabs in the state capital. Now, you earlier mentioned that the state government usually comes to pull out the debts that have been accumulated because of citizens who, dump and throw refuse in there.
And replace the slabs thereafter.
Yes, but then there are a lot of slabs in the state capital that are open, and sadly a girl died in one of them a few weeks ago. That's the one around the ShopRite area. Is it possible that as evacuation is being done out of those slabs, they should be covered immediately? Because I'm almost feeling that the reason why they don't cover it is because they just feel that, okay, they were accumulating, instead of us opening again, let it just be open. But then when rain falls, it covers the place.
Check those areas where the drainage is open with a slab. You will discover that the slab is no longer there. Because if the slab is there, they will definitely put it back. And because when they remove it now, maybe they remove the debts this evening.
Yes.
And they still have more to remove tomorrow. They cannot cover it now until when they finish removing all the refuse before they now cover. You will discover that between that night and morning, some criminals will go there and carry the slab.
So should they not? So what should be done now?
2 a.m.
Yeah, that's very possible. They could move
when
the slab
everybody's asleep.
But then
they will pull it.
But there are persons.
Have you not heard about this train station?
The train station and then the bridge, the second Niger bridge.
And the second Niger bridge.
Yes.
They vandalized the whole thing before dawn. They finished the whole place.
But those are iron. But this is the concrete, right?
There is something to do with it. You see, if you find anything missing, it has value for somebody. Somebody needs it for something.
Okay, but Liliver just said something now. Can there not be some? Because now, what's the way forward? Because persons can die there and might keep dying, especially people who don't know the terrain. For me, I know Asaba, so I know that when I get to that point, I should avoid it.
For a girl to die inside that slab, it must be a small girl. And you see, a lot of excuse me, let me say this. A lot of families, they will say because of poverty. Okay, you see small children hawking. Small children.
So this is a big topic on its own.
Yes, sometimes I ask myself, how many streets does this little girl know in Asaba or in Warri that she has to leave home, this baby, moving from one street to another? Some majority of them are girls. And they rape these little children, they do all kinds of things to them. And the parents don't care. Some are not even their parents, they go to the villages to go and bring them, deceive their parents. I will help you to send her to school, I will take off her. They told them to stuff in the city.
That's true.
And for that kind of small girl, hungry and maybe tired, she might not be observant.
She will just walk
into it. Okay? So I think what we did before with Edu Marshal you know, it will be necessary at points in this administration where we have to introduce it. That when we see children who are ought to be in their classrooms,
Yes.
hockey,
Pick them up.
Yes.
we pick them up, we
Yeah.
interview them, we go to their parents, have them arrested, and they prosecute them.
Especially
Because there are some children that are not ordinarily, whether you that is hungry, won't you go and home by yourself?
Yes.
You are at home. You sat comfortably at home.
And
And you
send a
are
child.
sending a child to go and hawk and bring money for you to eat.
That's true.
That's wrong. So I think when you see a situation like that, there are other things playing out. It's not just about what is there, not that you know, that slab that has been removed. Something played out. How old is, like for me now, for example, will you walk into a slab?
if I don't know the terrain, I could.
No, how?
If I don't know the terrain, I could.
As you are walking, you are not looking.
Because the water will be
Water
okay.
is
Now this
covered,
particular
the place is covered.
Okay, you are talking about it was flooded.
Yeah, this
flooded.
particular incident
Okay.
happened at night, and you know that in Asaba with the ban of bikes right now, I don't know if to say that the kekes are not enough. So you find out that some persons are trekking down from Inebisi. Now, if it and it's raining heavily, now the slabs are covered because of flood. So I'm not saying
Okay.
I could just walk in
Yes.
and not even know, and
Yes.
then the slabs are deep.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm not that tall, so I'm
Eh.
sure I can bury me. You know.
But you see, that's also brings us back to the issue of don't allow children to be on their own.
Yes.
Like this flooding period now, this rainy season, for example, you allow little babies to go and hawk or they go about their own business, you know, at that tender age. They might not be observant. They don't have that IQ that you have. Like now, if I see a flood here now, somebody will tell me on my brain, say, I don't know what is here.
Yes.
Now, and I begin to navigate to go elsewhere, to go and pass somewhere where I
Even
can.
if it's muddy, you
Even if
prefer
it's more,
it.
yes, right.
Yes.
But the children don't have that thinking.
Yes.
That is why we must continue to guide them. You see, let me tell you, I told a friend some time ago that the reason why some parents just don't care about their children is because they didn't fast and pray before they have no children.
Yeah, they got it.
All right.
They got it on the first.
I got
month.
married, when I got married, the first 5 years we don't have children. And we knew how many night vigils that we attended and deliverance that we did in church
Yes.
before we start having children. So I cannot afford to play with those kind of children.
Right.
But some people, they didn't
They
go through
got
that
it on the
process.
first month
Don't
after
every
marriage.
month as you hit bam baby,
Yes.
bam baby, bam baby. So they don't know the value. But for those people who will go for night vigils and cry unto the
And
Lord,
wait on the Lord.
and wait, they can't do it now. They can't do it. So parents should value their kids. Don't send these children out.
But can we have, like, pending when the slabs can be covered? Can we have like a barricade or a sign?
Like how many slabs you're talking
sign?
about here now?
They are in different places, so sir.
Yeah.
They are in different
Like
places.
like those places.
There's
No, if you
actual-
tell me those places, I can take it to Ministry of Works, so that they can send people.
So
there
if you
to-
want us to send you a list later on after this
send me the
program,
list.
we can.
If you send me that list, I'll forward it to the Honorable Commissioner for Urban and Rural. Both of them, they are in charge of roads. So anyone that falls within their own ministry, they will handle it.
Okay, so Deltans are
And I
listening
trust
to
the
you.
two men that are there, Mr. Charles Ayangu and Zeze.
Okay.
They are very active human beings.
Okay, so
Any message you send to them, they work on
because
it.
Deltans are watching you and Nigerians are watching you online right now, so they hold you by your words.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
but before we look into returning that slab, sir, what we are saying is that can there be a hazard rope on those areas? You know, when they take out those slabs.
Sure, that's another way.
Yes,
That's
that's
another way of
barricade
dealing with
saying
it.
to prevent
You barricade those areas,
Yes.
and then put signs.
Yes.
Say do not trespass here.
Yes.
Just that red. There's a red rope.
Red
you know?
rope, yes.
That shines even at night.
Sure. They can even
Yes.
tie it to. They can take the slabs up,
Yes.
tie it on the slabs,
Yes.
so that area you can walk
Depending
through.
on when they can cover it.
I think I'll take this to the honorable commissioners.
we appreciate. Thank you so
I'm sure
much.
they will do that for us.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. So, what's the way forward? Looking at the way the flooding is coming, it's coming really very fast. So, what's your final advice? To
My final advice is,
Deltans?
please, just start moving now. Anyhow. Neighbors, brothers, sisters, cousins, church members, church itself. Okay, anywhere we have small space, that can accommodate anybody, we should please do so.
Churches can even
All right.
accommodate members. as
Yes,
Yeah, that's what-
and
okay.
there's one community, my mother's community now, we have little flooded there, and I have a small property there. I just called my younger brother, that they should prepare the place so that
For
some people
persons.
can
Oh, that's
move in
beautiful.
there temporarily. until when this period is over. So all of us will need to do that. We just need to do that. Political leaders, political appointees, commissioners, all right, LGA chairman, okay, you know what I'm talking about. All of us, one way or the other, we can help our people, because
be your brother's keeper.
Yes, be our brother's keeper. Data is ours, and every data is dear to us. So let us begin to help one another. I remember there was a time too, there was flooding in this place in a DBS those days that we can't even walk through.
Oh, but that's been fixed.
That's been fixed.
Yes.
So we thank God for that. So that's the kind of thing that we need. You know, people should stay away from flood areas right now, and then before you leave, switch off your electrical appliances. All right, take your valuables away, except the little things that you know that you can easily replace when you come back. Otherwise, take everything out and then look for places to keep them. Very, very important. All of us, we have families. Maybe our families might not be well to do, but at least we have families that can take those things from us. Sister, please help me keep this thing. After the flood, I'll come back. They will take it from you. And those that are so kind, they can give you a small space to lay your head. And we also, by the time we start coming out to help those, government start assisting those flood victims, those ones who are squatting to, will look out for them and also pass those materials to them, you know, for their survival.
Remember the last time we had this flooding issue, some schools were turned to homes to keep people. So are we going to see that?
We're likely to go back to that, because
especially because schools are about to go on holidays.
About to go on holidays. So once they go on holidays now, we can also use those facilities to assist them, because government cannot afford at this point now to start building houses all over the communities for flood victims. That is another.
Economy is biting.
Yes, another problem. So, but whatever means available that we can do to help, government will do.
Okay, so while we're looking into that, we should also
and then they should also please listen to radio, you know, station with their transistor. You can listen to radio on your phone or your transistor in here, so that when an announcement is made about how you should move from one point to the other, and when we say, okay, if you are affected, please call these lines, then you can also now hear that announcement, and then you can call and government can come to your aid.
Thank you so much, sir. We sincerely appreciate you speaking to us. And we have been speaking with the Chief Executive Officer, Delta State Orientation and Communications Bureau, in the person of Dr. Fred Ogenesibe Latimo. And we have been talking about flooding, how to prevent it, and don't forget to be your brother's keeper. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much for coming. We appreciate it.
And all the promises you have made to us.
We will hold you by your words.
Hold me by my word.
We know we are going to see it, so we fear not.
Thank you.
I will send you the list.
And thank you for having me.
All right, you're welcome, sir.
Okay, Morning Ride continues in a bit. Please stay with us. Don't go anywhere.